well, we talked in the lesson today about obedience, to learn the law and then obey it. And a lot of people they don't know the law, but luckily if you're raised in the church today, you learn the law, you hear it. And lots of times, if I go to church meetings today and I look around and I see young people who aren't paying any attention to what's being said, they're just fiddling around and doing other stuff, I think, how are they going to learn? But fortunately, we have a teaching method today that we didn't have when I was a kid. We have seminary and institute. I went to BYU. I didn't really know much. And the worst grade I got was in religion class. I had to take New Testament. I didn't know up and down. And I thought, and all the kids that were in Provo had seminary. And Utah kids, and they were smart. And I thought, wow, I'm really dumb, because I don't know all this stuff that they knew. So if our kids will do the active things they need to do, go to seminary, be faithful, live the commandments, and be honest and true, they'll be successful in life. And work's an important part, because work's fun. If you work hard and have a good time working, it's fun. Enjoy it, and it'll be a blessing to you. So work and keep the commandments is what I'd have them do, and to choose good friends. If our young people get involved with kids who are not willing to obey or are somehow off Planet 9, pretty soon your kids will have tattoos, and pretty soon your kids will be drinking whatever, because if they have bad friends, when you're young, bad friends will induce you to do things you shouldn't do. So another advice I'd say is, be careful who their friends are, and be sure they have good friends and that they do the right thing. And then the next thing you do, every day you gotta love them, and you gotta tell them you love them and make them feel secure. If a child knows that he's got security with a strong mom and dad, and he knows he can go to them when I was a little guy about 4 years old, I used to wear my mother had me in short pants, and I'd run and fall down and skin my knee. Where'd I go? I went to my mom, and she said she'd give me a hug and a kiss, and then she'd put a little bit of mercurochrome on there and maybe a little Band-Aid, and I thought, I'm okay because my mom was there. And that's true with any child. That when they're hurt, they want to go and talk to mom. If they don't understand things and don't understand things about life, they don't go to mom and dad, and they go to some of their friends that tell them wrong stuff. That's not, they got to go to mom and dad. That's a clue. And you can't, when they become inquisitive about life and so on as parents, or at least they do, you should be honest and talk to them and explain things to them. And I think that's a clue, because otherwise sometimes you get shocked with what kids know and things they do and you didn't teach them. Yep. And now we surely didn't do a good, that great a job at it, but if I could do it over, of course you'd do things different and you wouldn't make mistakes. That's what life's about, making mistakes and learning. You don't learn if you don't make a mistake. But there's a lot of things I did I wish I hadn't done. I mean, crazy decisions I made. I wouldn't do them now. But when they turned out bad, I learned a lesson, and I didn't do it anymore. When I was a little kid, if I put my finger on the stove and it burned, shouldn't have done it, but I never put it back because it hurt, and I knew it hurt. So that's what I did. But yeah, that's the advice, and to be concerned with other people. When any of us have relationships with other people we don't know, don't talk about yourself. Ask them about them, and be concerned with them. Sometimes I watch one of those crazy girly shows sometimes on the computer with Hallmark, and this woman, she was having marital trouble with her husband, and she was 40 years old, and she says, well, she wanted to go off and do crazy stuff. And he said, why do you want to do that? She says, well, I got figuring what's going to happen to me in 10 years. And he said, you'll be 50. And besides that, it's all, what about our kids, and what about, it's not you, it's us. And she began to realize all she was thinking about herself. She wasn't thinking about her husband would be 52 and her kids would be teenagers. What about us? What about family? Family is the only thing. That's what brings joy, when I can have Andrea and Isaac come and see me, and I can feel their love and appreciation. That's probably the highlights of being old.